What is good, y'all? So today's video is all going to be on market research and the importance of doing it, especially if you want to grow an online coaching business, right? So number one is if you don't understand your market, you honestly don't deserve to sell any products or service at all, right? Because market research is one of the best ways to really understand your audience better than they understand themselves, guys. Without it, you're just guessing, and guessing is very, very expensive because you're just going waste time. You're trying to, post content, you're trying to post stories, and you're not really understanding exactly what is the problem, what is the thing that your audience needs you to solve as the coach, as the expert, right? And number two is you really want to rely on data rather than like opinions, because market research gives you a direction on where to aim, where to drive your business, right? You want your messaging, your offers, and your content to resonate instantly with those that you serve, right? And this only happens when you speak the exact language that your market uses to describe the struggles. For example, with the fitness example, it can be like, oh, I'm too tired after work, right? Or I want to lose weight without sacrificing the weekends, right? It's just small things like that, understanding how they talk, or things like, what do your specific people say when it comes to losing weight and losing fat, right? Oh, I want to lose my dad bod. I want to lose my man boobs. I want to, be able to fit my clothes a lot better. These are the things that people are talking about, especially if they're men trying to lose some weight, right? No dude is gonna be like, oh, I want to tone up, right? They don't talk about that at all, right? So it's like if you're targeting men, right? Especially guys that are working professionals that want to lose weight, lose fat, fit their clothes a lot better. You got to really define your avatar, right? What is the biggest frustration, especially with their fitness, right? What is the biggest struggle that they deal with on a daily basis, revolving around their work schedule, revolving around their personal life, revolving around, like the weekends? You guys really have to understand, right? What are their biggest frustrations, especially when it comes to working out? Like, do they know what they're doing in the gym, right? Solving those problems and solving those issues, right? What about solving the issue of consistency, right? Because a lot of times, like, people cannot be, consistent with their fitness journey. Why? You really have to think. It's like, why do they struggle with that? Is it because they're not motivated? Because they don't have a good purpose on how to? Do they not understand how to? Do they not know how to get started? You have to really understand what are the biggest frustrations with their fitness. And you guys can honestly go on ChatGPT right now and ask it. I am targeting 9 to 5 working professional men who want to lose weight, lose fat. What are the biggest, or like, what are the top 25 biggest struggles when it comes to them losing weight? And then ChatGPT is literally going to give you an entire list, guys, right? Utilize that list, because when you have that list, you know exactly the pain points, the struggles, and the difficulties that people are going through, so that you can create content specifically for them, right? Creating content that resonates with them, because when you show up on your story and you're talking about, hey, if you don't know exactly what to do in the gym, here's a solution. They're listening to you, right? Because you're solving a pain point or a struggle that they might have, right? And if they're like, hey, like, I actually don't know how to get started, right? They're not going to tell you that they don't know how to get started. But in their minds, like, these overweight people, right, that don't know what they're doing, they're thinking these things. And to be an expert marketer, right, you have to understand their problems before they understand, or like before they even tell you, right? Because if you understand them better than they understand themselves, woo, come on now, right? They're going to see you as the expert. They're going to see you as the authority. They're going to see you as someone that's been there and done that, and they have a lot of experience in the industry because you understand them so well, right? Oh, I got this problem, here's the solution. I got this problem, here's the solution, right? And not only that, guys, but you really have to influence them on why now. Why not keep on pushing it off for later? What are some big excuses that your ideal target audience may have when it comes to procrastinating, when it comes to delaying it, right? And understanding the reasons why, most people can't commit now, and speaking upon that is so, so important. For example, with the fitness example, a lot of times people will be like, oh, what, like, I can't commit right now because I'm too busy at work, right? So you, as the fitness coach, have to solve that issue, solve that problem, and give them a solution. Hey, right? It's like why can't you, it's like work out, after work. Oh man, like I don't think I can devote 2 hours to, like work out after work because it's always so busy and, there's tons of people there and I can't get the machines that I want and all that stuff, right? Maybe offer them a solution through your content, through your stories, to work out first thing in the morning, right? Or go on a walk middle of the afternoon. Give them solutions, guys, right? Or just, hey, after dinner, maybe wait a little bit longer so that you don't, face the 5 o'clock crowd that is like super, super busy. Or you can be like, hey, invest into a private gym. That way you don't have to go to like LA Fitness and, it's like all the commercial gyms that are super, super packed, right? Like that's the biggest thing. And then another thing that you got to consider too is, what are they specifically struggling with, but they're not saying publicly, right? And I know that especially if you're a brand new online fitness coach, you may not have gotten on a lot of calls where you're able to ask people's struggles and their difficulties and what they, like need help with the most. But I've been doing this for years and years. And one biggest thing that they are struggling with, and they're not saying publicly, is that their clothes are fitting, or like their clothes are not fitting on them the way it should be. It's not, right? And they are always reaching for the baggy clothes, right? So that they can actually feel more comfortable. When before I started doing online fitness coaching, I didn't know that at all. Because for me, like I was in shape most of my life, right? Like even on my bulk, I wasn't like overweight, you know what I'm saying? But these guys, they're like, man, like I gotta upgrade my wardrobe. I gotta get new clothes. And some of these brands, like they only go up to a certain size and I can't fit it well and all that stuff. And that's what they're struggling with. But they're not telling anybody about that. They're not telling their significant other. They're not telling, their friends. They're not telling their family, right? These are things that they're struggling with that they're not saying publicly, right? It's like these are external things, but internal things, you also want to think about it too. What are some internal struggles and thoughts that may be going through the minds of your overweight clients? And you really want to think about it, right? Really, really think about like what are they struggling externally and what are they struggling internally, right? And you can go on ChatGPT right now. You can literally pause the video, go on ChatGPT, and ask it, right, to give you more ideas on how to do it specifically, right? And then number two is really, really look at the comment section on people's like workout TikToks or people's diet TikToks or fitness videos. Look at the comment section, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook Reels, whether it's just anywhere like Reddit, it doesn't matter, right? Look at, the common questions that normal people are asking. This is one of the best ways to do market research because as these fitness influencers are having, it's like these fitness tips and reels and all that stuff. What you can do is look at the comment section and see what people are asking. Oh, how much, it's like how many grams of creatine monohydrate should I intake? right? Just just stuff like that. You're gonna start seeing it in the comment section, and these are the things that you got to write down and be like, okay, like boom, it's like put it on my list, put it on my list, put it on my list, and then you can go off into talking about that on your stories and talking about that. Through your content as well, because these are questions that people are already asking, like normal people asking these influencers. Obviously these influencers are way too busy and they're not going to be able to like answer your questions, but you can, right? So any frequently asked question regarding fitness, regarding exercise, regarding supplements and all these things related to your ideal target audience, you can utilize those questions to create content, create stories, or generate ideas on what people want solved, because people aren't educated on this stuff, right? And another way to really do good market research too is to interview your clients. If you already have clients already, ask them like, hey, before working with me, what was the biggest struggle that you faced before, in your fitness journey? And they're going to tell you a whole list of things that they were struggling with before. Man, like before working with you, I had back pain, I had knee pain, I had to take all these pills and medications, and yeah, it was just bad, man. A lot of the times, like my family members would have, all these health complications like diabetes, it's like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and I just didn't want, it's like to be like them, right? When I'm older, right? Right there, guys, right? I'm like, that is a legit example of what I've heard on my calls, right? So right there, guys, utilize that type of messaging in your content, in your stories, because you're tapping into the minds of your audience now, right? Some people might resonate with that message and be like, dang, he's right. This coach is right. Man, like I do know a lot of people in my family that deal with all these health complications, and I should take action, right? If you understand your audience, marketing and communication and your messaging becomes so clear and so effective and so powerful, right? Because you know exactly how to talk to them, right? You know exactly what they're struggling with, you know exactly what they want, right? And you know exactly how to solve those issues for people, right? So lastly, what I want you guys to also do is to really document everything. Whether you hop on those consultation calls slash like sales calls, right? Take note of everything that people are telling you in terms of their struggles, in terms of what they want, right? In their lives and what they want to accomplish in terms of their fitness goals, right? And then write down everything and put it onto an Excel spreadsheet or Google Doc, or just take notes of it, right? Have a whole list of like a document of what people like struggle with, and use their messaging, use the words that they tell you, right? For example, like going back to the other example, a lot of guys would be like, man, I want to lose my dad bod. I want to lose my gut. I want to lose my spare tire. Like I've heard things like that, man, right? You might be like, spare tire, right? It's like, people actually say that? Yes, people actually say that, right? But like, you wouldn't have known that if you didn't hop on as many calls as me, right? But people say stuff like that. I don't think I ever talk to any guy and they're like, "Oh, I want to tone up my muscles." They don't talk like that, right? Especially if you're talking to guys, they don't talk about toning up their muscles. They're talking about getting jacked. They're talking about slimming down. They're talking about, getting rid of their dad bod, right? They're talking about getting rid of their spare tire. That's what they talk about. If you're talking to women, then it's a little bit different, right? Because they're all about toning up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like different target market, and you have to know how to talk to your target market, right? Um, but yeah, guys, like this is one of the most important things in terms of market research, and I really want to help you guys understand that so that you guys could really, really understand your target market a lot better in order for you to have clear, effective communication through your stories and also through your content as well. Because when you know exactly who you're talking to and when you really understand your market, your marketing is top tier, right? And when your marketing is top tier and it actually resonates with the problems, the pains, and you're actually providing solutions through your stories and through your content, your business is going to do so much better because it's finally going to have a direction, and you're going to know exactly what you need to do and how to speak to your people every single day with clarity, right? And I'll give you guys an example, right? Imagine if I was talking to online fitness coaches and I was telling people about, like my workouts and my day and, like my diet and nutrition and, it's like the fantasy books that I'm reading and then like the Harry Potter books that I'm reading. And I'm talking about the movies like I've been watching the Netflix series. It's like, how is that relevant to you, right? As the online fitness coach, how is that relevant to you? How is that solving an issue and a problem inside your business, right? It's not, right? It's like, I don't really have a direction, but most people will just post just to post, right? Everything that I do is very strategic, right? And I'm thinking with the mindset of like, I know the person that is watching this right now, and the person watching this right now struggles with his marketing, struggles to get clients, struggling to have clarity around having the proper message, right? And knowing exactly how to market and how to get more clients, right? And that's why I'm creating this YouTube video to share with you guys the tips, the guidance on how to solve your problem of not getting enough clients, solving your problem of the lack of intentionality through your stories and your content, which may be leading to you not getting the clients that you want, right? Me solving the problem of your marketing, me solving, like you not knowing exactly what you need to do through your stories and through your content, right? And now I'm giving you a better way to think about it, a strategic way to think about it, and showing you exactly what you need to do in terms of step-by-step process and how to start thinking about it, the mindset behind it, how to do research about it, right? And the tactical like action steps that I wanted you guys to do, right? Along the video, I was like, hey, stop right here. You have to understand this, right? Go on ChatGPT and research it and do all that stuff, right? So like entire time, I gave you action steps on what you need to be doing so that you can grow an online or grow a successful online coaching business, right? So me doing this to you guys, me understanding that you guys struggle with your marketing, struggle with the content, struggle with the messaging, I'm creating this video for you guys, right? So you have to understand your target market and understanding, okay, how do you speak to your target market, like 9 to 5 working professionals? What if they're telling you like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing in the gym? Then you create videos explaining how to, it's like solve that issue. Hey, this is how you, it's like work out at the gym. This is the proper form. This is the proper technique. When you're solving issues and you're solving these problems that your potential customers may be having, you're going to be way more effective in doing so, right? But yeah, that is all for this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Ray Tang Fitness on Instagram, and let's connect on there.